balancing act between protecting attendees' privacy at a meeting and protecting attendees' health at a meeting through health security measures. And there's somewhat of a tug of war between the two, because on one hand, you have attendee privacy issues where you may be collecting personal health information. You have to protect that health information. You have to adhere to state and federal regulations, and there's liability associated with not doing it in the right way. On the other side of the equation, you have real risks when people are going to be coming to meetings over the next 6 to 12 months surrounding COVID. And those health risks are important for you to mitigate. And when you mitigate them in an effective way, you'll reduce the risk. And if you don't do it in the right way, it will increase your liability. So on top of that, the more health security measures you take, the less privacy your attendees have. And the more privacy you provide to your attendees, the more limitations you have in the health security measures you can take. So it is a tug of war. There has to be a balancing act there. However, you can learn some lessons as an industry from what's going on in the employer space. Because over the past few months, silently and actively, employers have been returning their employees back to work and protecting the employees that are already at work, those critical infrastructure workers. And by doing so, they've set some precedents as to what things you can do, what things you can ask to protect the health of an employee and translate that to an attendee, while at the same time protecting the privacy of that employee or attendee. Some of the things you can ask are, have you had any flu-like symptoms in the past 14 days? Have you been exposed as a close contact to someone who has had COVID, documented case of COVID? Have you traveled internationally? And you may even be able to ask for some risk factors associated with poor outcomes if you do get COVID, such as chronic diseases that you may have, or are you immunocompromised? So all those things are open to being asked. I think the chronic diseases, and I think you have to balance asking some of those questions, such as whether you have chronic diseases or you're immunocompromised, to how much benefit you're going to get out of asking those questions. But certainly you can start to ask some of those questions. You can offer temperature checks, and you can ask for mandatory temperature checks at the meeting. So attendees every day have to go through a temperature check to determine if they have a fever. However, you need to keep in mind that you want to limit your risk as much as possible in collecting this personal health information. And to do so, it would be better to actually hire a third party to do that. And this third party should have HIPAA credentials so that they can manage and store and collect this personal health information in a safe and secure way. This takes the liability off the meeting professional and moves it over to a third party. Meeting professionals are not covered entities under HIPAA. However, they still have responsibility and requirements to protect personal health information, adhering to state and federal regulations. And hiring a third party allows you to transfer that responsibility over to the third party to manage that. So in summary, you do, as a meeting professional, need to balance privacy matters with health security matters. And I hope this was very helpful for you. Thank you.